What up? It's your boy Skinny Penis.
I'm the one who's overcompensating with all my guns.
Yes, clearly.
And I'm dead inside.
We're all dead inside. Hopefully,
back to what we are. What are we reading?
Hopefully, we finish
what it
it
is
today.
we are reading.
Hopefully, what were you saying?
Hopefully, we finish.
Yeah. It's my inner life, guys. Yay.
A few months later, Link and I were at Lake Hylia with our son and fairies on a family picnic when the most amazing thing happened. Everyone died.
That would be amazing.
I just remember stories told to me by my parents about a noble race called Griffins. You mean those eagle-lion things that defend treasure?
No, they're noble,
majestic.
They're a noble, majestic race, man. Come on.
Majestic, I can understand. The things fight off dragons successfully. But noble.
Yeah, I wouldn't call them noble. I'd call them
badass.
Hardy.
It was told to me that these wise and noble creatures live in the 12 Black Mountains just north of the 13 Dragon Mount, which was a day's ride from Hyrule. Somehow!
I mean, that sounds like something from any other high fantasy series, like Dragon Mount. I mean, come on.
If memory serves, she did rip off this part.
Yeah,
I had never thought I would ever meet one of those noble creatures until now.
Link and I had just unrolled the blanket for us to sit on while Lily, Navi, and Arya were playing with our son when Link's ears twitched from a sudden noise. Jenna, you hear that? Link asked, his ears twitching. Repetition, come on!
If anyone's ears should be twitching, it should be Jenna because she has tiger ears.
My eye is twitching. Is that counting?
Oh. But yeah, Jenna's the one with tiger ears. Shouldn't her ears be twitching?
It's never been confirmed what her ears look like.
She's clearly a Jinko, so she clearly has tiger ears.
Okay. Hear what, my love? I returned, giving him a sideways look. I hear nothing. His ears twitched again. You don't hear that noise, honey? It sounds like something is whimpering, Link said again, his eyes scanning over the land on the other side of the lake. I have no idea what you're is that Link? I have no idea what you're hearing, love, and I still hear nothing. I forget that you're not part. Oh, I forget that you're not part elven. You're full human. That's probably why you don't hear it. Half human, half elven people have stronger hearing than full humans, Link said quizzically.
You're not elven. They're Hylians.
Yeah, well, it's whatever.
Oh my god.
His eyes still scanning for the source of the faint noise.
You never cease to... But you're probably right. Do you have any idea where it's coming from? I returned, my eyes watching him. He shook his head in response. Not a clue. There's so many other noises mixed in with it that I cannot tell. Raising my head up, I sniffed the air with my tiger nose, searching for a distinctive scent. I scanned the air, searched for something out of the ordinary, when a bitter scent of blood and sulfur hit my nose, causing it to wrinkle in distaste. Link, I think I picked up something. I smell a mixture of sulfur and blood coming from somewhere across the lake.
She mean brimstone.
Says a worried look across Link's face. I think something's wicked over there.
I wish I were dead. Okay. Sulfur and blood. Wait, who's speaking? Is it Link? Link, I'm guessing Link is speaking.
Yeah.
Sulfur and blood? The only place I know where sulfur is the Black Mountains to the north of Dragon Mount. Do you mean brimstone? Because sulfur does not have
sulfur
a
and brimstone are
smell.
basically the same thing.
Sulfur itself does not have a distinct smell of its own. It's whenever sulfur oxidizes.
Yeah.
It needs to have something else in there in order to actually have that eggy smell. But what will be causing sulfur to mix with blood? And how would sulfur get this far south? Link's gaze returned to the other side of the lake. I think we should go... Oh, Wait, what? Who's speaking? Okay? I think we should send the fairies to go check it out. I agree.
Why?
They have better sight and smell than we do. I think they will have better luck finding out where the sounds and smells is coming from. I returned, my body shaking slightly from the incomprehensibility of this all. From an uneasy feeling. Link, Navi, Arya, come quickly. It's of great importance, Link called, his voice expressing urgency. I watched as 3 small hovering lights came floating over to us, their glowing auras flickering with wonderment. What's wrong, Link? Is something bad? Did something bad happen? Navi asked. We need you, Lily, and Arya to check out something on the other side of the lake.
Did we give Arya a regular voice, or?
I don't think Arya's spoken, so if I ever have her lines, I'm probably just going to scream them.
What is wrong over there? Did you hear wolfos or something? Arya agreed. No, it's not that, but I heard something that sounds like whimpering, and Jenna smells blood mixed with sulfur coming from the other side of the lake, Link said, his blue eyes filled with concern. Sulfur? What? Oh, by the goddesses, the only place where sulfur comes from is in the Black Mountains?
I wish everyone would shut up about that.
Yeah, seriously. Lily returned her face with twisting shock. How the hell would sulfur have gotten this far south? Arya questioned, her blue aura dimming slightly. That's what we want to find out, Link returned.
It easily could be that there's just a pile of rotten eggs over there.
Then what would explain the whimpering, Llytic? Explain that. Checkmate, atheists.
Explain that.
a morning cuckoo.
Link returned. I understand. We will leave now, Navi said as Lily to make their way across the lake. Please be careful, I yelled just before they got halfway across. God forbid that they die in a horrible way, because that would...
This story needs more death.
Yes, it does.
Of everyone.
No one has died. Literally no one has died.
Ganon has.
No, he was sealed away. He hasn't even died.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, you just seal him away. And
Link
then
and I
he comes back.
watched as they reached the other side and their glowing auras disappeared inside the thick foliage lining the bank. We sat anxiously waited for their return. Minutes passed into what seemed like an eternity as they still did not return. Link and I started to grow worried. The minutes
It turns out they'd been eaten by birds.
Yay.
The minutes turning into long amounts of time. Then, just as we agreed to go after them, I saw a small light emerge from the bank of trees just a short way. Where they entered, I grabbed the sleeves of Link's green tunic and showed him the small light hovering over the bank. We started to worry as we only saw one light, getting more worried with each passing minute. Link was getting ready to jump into the lake and swim across when 2 more small lights emerged from the trees and joined the one waiting by the bank.
Oh, God. Breathing a sigh of relief, we watched as the 3 small fairies made their way back across and joined us on the other side. With a look of distress, all 3 fairies turned a shade of bright yellow. What? Ink,
You're
you
yellow
must
now.
hurry!
That's my attack.
Navi cried as he spun in the air. Shit, I just drooled everywhere.
Good job.
You will not believe this, but there's a wounded griffin over there among the trees. Link and I exchanged shocked glances. A griffin? We said in unison. What the hell would a griffin be doing this far south? At this time of year, in this area, in this part of the Hyrule, specifically localized on Lake Hyrule. Yes.
May I see it?
No. I'm glad you got the reference.
I'm not listening.
Steamed hands.
Ow.
I asked, puzzled. I thought they only lived in the Black Mountains. Racist. I never heard of one venturing too far away from the... I believe they prefer the term African American mountains. Unless they had a passenger with a request to go somewhere. And not even that, the Griffins don't trust anyone, Link added, his puzzled look making his blue eyes look dull.
Uh,
I think his eyes have been dull this entire time.
yeah, probably.
Clouded
I like
over
mine.
due to
Jules,
the
right?
hypnosis of the Sioux.
Mine are kind of like glazed over, like seriously. Whatever may be its reason, we must hurry. The creature is wounded badly, and it needs our immediate attention, Arya added with urgency in her voice. What? Don't fairies revive people? I mean, come on.
Would you have to eat a fairy? to
Well,
do
then we
that?
must. Well, then we
confused by
must
those
make
things.
haste. Arya, please stay here with Link Jr. Lily Navi, please show us the way, I said as I made my way down to the bank
Do
and
it.
into the water. I listened as Link joined me, and we both swam with great haste to the other side. Rising out of the water and onto the bank, I stood up and wrung out my saturated dress as Link made his way up and beside me. Then Lily and Navi joined us, their R's flickering with worry. This way, follow us, Navi yelled as her and Lily disappeared into the thickness of the trees. Following, we entered
thickness of the trees.
with 2 C's. Following, we entered the thicket and made our way into a small clearing, where we saw a sight we never thought we'd see. There, lying on the ground, was a huge... There was a Hugh white griffin. I just imagine a griffin with Hugh Jackman's face. With black tips on its wings and light yellow bird-like claws on its front legs. Beautiful, intricate jewelry hung from its tufted ears. What? And from its neck, indicating it must be of high rank. What? My mouth just hung open as I watched its crystal blue eye staring us over.
I felt I needed to switch it up, so I put Mershark in the chat.
All right, my turn.
Yes.
Going into my collection.
Mershark?
Guys, it's my turn now.
Yes, it's your turn.
Slowly, it lifted its head and its sharp beak opened up. Who are you? The griffin asked in a raspy voice. I exchanged glances with Link before he moved forward.
I just might ask you the same, but the name's Link, and this is my wife, Jenna. And those 2 fairies over there are Lily and Navi.
Link said with a hint of caution. We watched as the griffin's crystal blue eye continued to stare at us, its gaze full of caution and questioning. The name's Stellabar, the creature returned, its beak pointed directly at us. I watched as the griffin struggled to get onto its feet, but without any success, and crashed back onto the ground.
You shouldn't try to move. You are still too wounded.
Oh no, that's Jenna. Hold on. You shouldn't try to move. You're still too wounded, I advised him. We're here to help. I walked over to him and looked at the huge gashes on his legs and wings.
The huge gashes.
Huge
So the
gash.
Wolverine attacked him, apparently.
Reaching
Yeah.
into
Wolverine
the pouch I had attached to my waist, I pulled out a healing ointment and conveniently started applying it to his wounds.
Now this is going to sting a little, you little bitch. I said as I applied the ointment. Why are you helping me? Dalmar questioned, his eyes watching. Without any answer to his questions, I continued to apply the ointment to his wounds as it started to burn his flesh, then dressed them. After I applied the final dressing, ranch, I looked into his cautious eyes. There, all done, you little shit. Do you think you can walk, huh? Huh, you little bitch? I asked.
Huh? Can you?
What are we gonna do with him? They don't just trust anyone, Link inquired, despite the fact that he didn't ask a question, the dumb shit. His eyes filled with worry. We cannot just leave the little bitch here. I think that it's wise if we try to help the little bitch get back to the Black Mountains, I said as I walked over to Link and looked into his eyes. Shit. Oh, I'm not the type of person to just leave something that's wounded behind. Who is saying this?
No one knows.
I'm not the kind of person to leave a little bitch like this, that's wounded behind. I've always been a compassionate person. Isn't that right, Link? Nod yes. Otherwise, I'll stab you again. Link's eyes twinkled as he stared down into mine, his expression softening out of fear. Just one of the reasons why I married you, my love. Then the knife you currently have pointing at my ribs. I agree with you. We should help him. But first we have to gain his trust, or he might not allow us to help him, Link returned. Nodding in agreement, I walked back over to the little bitch Dalamar.
Again, do you think you can get up, you little fuck? I questioned the griffin. His crystal eyes stared into mine for a moment. Then he spoke. What voice did y'all give him?
Oh, what's the deal with airplane food?
I just may be able to, but as I asked before, why are you helping me? Dalamar questioned me
We
again.
gotta save the bees.
My expression softened and a small compassionate smile crossed my face. Because we are friends, and I have no flaws, because I'm the main character of this story. Because we are friends, and I cannot just leave you here in the state that you're in. It'd be much more satisfying to see you struggle when we get home and watch you die slowly.
Jesus Christ.
Christ. Bit
Dalamar
far.
just stared at me with a cautious and puzzled look, his tufted ears twitching with concern. Perhaps you may be here to help me, but as anyone should know that the trust of a griffin is not so easily gained. Again with the repetition.
We
Oh
just
my
learned
God.
this, and again, Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah. I don't know how to do Jerry Seinfeld.
What's the deal with Jerry Seinfeld imitation?
Dalamar returned as he slowly rose to his feet. Smiling, I looked directly into his eyes once more. Don't worry, my friend. That should not be such a hard task for us to do. It'll be much better once you get home. Turning my back, I walked back beside Link and we jetted for Lily and Navi to help guide Dalamar out of the thicket and back to Lake Hylia. I mean, you could have just put the creature out of his misery.
Probably would have been better for everyone.
Yeah.
We slowly made our way across the water and joined Arya with our son on the other side. Immediately, Arya jumped up and flew over to me. I don't even know her. Oh, by the goddesses! I see that you managed to get the creature here. We'll be able to cook and good eat tonight. She floated and circled in front of me. Nodding, I looked into her small eyes. Yep, but first we must get him back to the castle.
He does it. She doesn't have eyes. She's fairy.
How did little Link do while we were away? I watched as Arya group rider. Just fine. He's over by the horses playing in the flowers. She said as Arya pointed over to our now trampled son. Arya returned, she flew.
Leave the baby alone with horses.
Arya returned, she flew over to him. Looking back over to Link, my smile faded. We must hurry to the castle, my love. We must inform Princess Zelda of Dalamar!
Walking over to our horses, I called for the fairies to help the guide Dalamar while I secured Lake Junior the saddle. Then Link and I mounted our horses and we went out and we're headed towards the castle.
Okay, then. We had to take it easy since Dalamar could not move very fast due to his injuries, but after some time and a lot of determination and a lot of watching him suffer, we made it to the castle gates. We made our way across the wooden bridge and into the bustling market. As we crossed the market, I heard shocked gasps and uttered whispers of the Hylian people as we caught sight of the magnificent griffin that followed behind us. Look, it's the griffin! Oh my God, it looks like it's in pain! By the goddess, the griffin has showed up in Hyrule. What is one doing this far south? Were just some of the uttered words said by the shocked people of Hyrule. We made our way through the market and down the path that led to the Hyrule Castle. When we stopped at the first gate, Palin, Sarah Palin, another guard I was also friends with, stood still like petrified rock as the pure shock of a griffin sent him nearly ghost white. Oh, by the goddesses, it's a griffin, and he looks like he's in pain, he cried, his eyes wide as saucers. Where in 14 Gaia did he come from? I thought the griffins only lived in the Black Mountains. We must see the princess and fast. God. Link added his words, ushering urgency. At once, my lord, Palin stammered as he opened the gate and allowed us to pass. Okay,
honestly,
word of advice, I don't think
a Canadian accent.
Dang it. Missed opportunity. Or was it? I really don't care. But it's like, I forgot what I was going to say. Continue.
By the time we reached the second gate, word had already spread about Dalamar's presence in Hyrule. There at the gates of Hyrule Castle was Princess Zelda and Impa awaiting our arrival. Her deep blue eyes turned a shade of gray when she set them upon the massive white... Why are people's eyes turning to gray?
I don't know. You see, someone from another land like this, I could understand the princess meeting because of the fact that this is something that apparently never happens.
Yeah.
But I'm more worried about the eye thing.
Yeah, that is
Like
concerning.
her eyes are like turning gray.
Yeah, I don't think that's
Are we about
healthy.
to go into an LA Noir story?
Oh,
Anyways, by the goddesses, in all my days I never thought I'd see one of the magnificent noble griffins. You honor us with your presence, O noble griffin. Zelda says she bowed to Dalamar. He looked at her, his gaze softening upon the look of Zelda's rosy face. He wanted that ass.
Oh
He
God.
lowered his head, his crystal blue eyes staring down at her, into hers. Princess Zelda, I presume, Dalamar said, his nostrils flaring. With a look of shock, Zelda gasped at Dalamar's knowledge of her name. Yes, or no. Oh, yes, Princess, I know all
Princess.
about you. The story of Ganondorf taking over Hyrule has spread to many lands, including into the Black Mountains. Then my hunch was right. The green one who accompanied us here is Link, the hero of
green
time.
one.
I watched as Link gasped, his eyes growing big. I know all about your great feats, Link, hero of time. I'd like the off mention of Zelda. Oh, you're the one who rules the kingdom that keeps getting taken over. Damn. That was some quick shade he just threw.
We all stood there, unable to move. Mostly because I had just poisoned everyone again. The sudden knowledge
Damn it.
that little bitch Dalamar possessed had us all frozen in time. Somehow. I could not believe of all the knowledge the snowy white griffin possessed, that little bitch. But it was often said that those noble creatures never left anything unseen. Fucking snitches. Please excuse my sudden burst of words without a proper introduction. My name is Dalamar, High Lord of the Griffin Council. The griffin, that little bitch, returned, bowing his head down in front of Zelda, that whore. Coming out of her state of shock, that whore's gaze returned to the High Lord's face. Well then, come Dalamar, Lord... Fuck. Come, comrade. Well then, welcome Dalamar, Lord of Griffin Council. Zelda said mannerfully. Mannerfully.
I keep reading. I want to be done with this.
Well, my lord, shall we reside to Palace Garden? Zelda asked with a smile. Dalamar bowed his head, that little bitch, in response.
Wow, for someone who doesn't trust people, he's trusting them an awful lot now. Like, seriously.
Mhm.
I don't know, I'd be trusting
After we-
someone with my force of wisdom.
After we resided to the garden, Zelda ordered the server to bring refreshments and change Dalamar's dressings. The one question that was on everyone's mind was finally spoken. Okay, so it is Zelda speaking. So tell me,
Where
my
the
lord,
fuck
how
is the
did you
plot?
come to Hyrule? If I understand correctly, griffins usually don't venture too far away from the Black Mountains. Zelda questioned as she took a sip of her herbal tea. You have understood correctly, princess, but I came to Hyrule under unfortunate circumstances. Dalamar returned as he picked up his cup in his claws and raised it to his beaked mouth. Taking a sip, you can't really
Unfortunate
sip with a
circumstances
beak.
being this story.
He sat the cup back down and his crystal eyes faltered. Oh my god, no. You see, my lady, I came her not by choice. We griffins are hardened on how far from the Black Mountains we can venture. That's Link's voice. Even as peaceful a race as we griffins are, we still have many enemies. And one such enemy of the griffins are the 15 draconians. All 15 of them. Dalamar said nonchalantly, his crystal blue eyes staring down into his cup. We have been at war with the draconians for centuries. These evil people have captured and tamed the wild dragons from the poison lands, training these gigantic lizards into doing their bidding. These dragons were once an isolated quite species until they came. The Dark Knights under the follow of the 16 Dark Lords Ariakas of the Shadow Realm. They rampaged and conquered the Poison Lands, capturing the dragons and training them under the rule of darkness. Now these evil knights under Arikas' evil rule are hell-bent on total annihilation of all who oppose them. Okay, now the writing is just evolving.
I think part of it might be the fact that we're all having a stroke right now.
No,
much.
it's just evolving, period. Like, I'm not having a stroke. I'm just kind of going through this now. Like, okay, I guess this is my life now, so...
Oh boy. Is it my turn? You finish?
Yep.
Dalamar looked solemnly around the garden, haunting memories filling his mind.
Don't die.
Again.
Ow! His wings folded in distress as he continued. Their first place of conquest was our home on the Black Mountains. When we opposed them, that thrust our people into a long century of war against the Lord of the Shadow Realm.
He's turning into
Jeez.
Joey Wheeler.
now we, the once peaceful people, are fighting every day of our lives in a desperate attempt to keep from falling under Lord Erika's dark control. Dalamar's gaze shifted skyward, his claws gripping into the ground beneath him. One day, word came into the air to our air patrol that a group of draconians on Dragonback were camping near Dragon Mount.
Dragon.
Dragon Ball Z, dragon.
Gotta
It's
get that
like a
Dragon
dragon
Ball.
version of the Badgers song.
That's what I was thinking.
Dragon,
After the
Griffin.
So made a decision that I would
Dragon.
Okay, let's let him read.
Sorry.
go on to check out the inquiry. I made haste and left the moment of the wing. Upon my arrival at Dragon Mount, pushed by a draconian on a red dragon. After a long fight in the air, I was struck down and wounded by the dragon's powerful claws. And what's the deal with acid breath? In my attempt to escape, I was pursued by the dragon until I lost them in Death Canyon just west of here.
Oh,
Then I
shit.
continued to fly south until I was able to go further, and I crashed down into a thicket of trees by the lake you must call Lake Hylia. I must have been there for 2 or 3 days before your hero Link and his wife found me. Dalamar's head slouched as he touched the feathers on his neck.
Ah, shit. Now that I've got him into my mind as Joey Wheeler, I have to give him a Boston accent.
Do it. He's part eagle, so it fits.
Fucking chathead. I fear that Lord Icarius is planning to invade the Black Mountains, seize control over my people. That is why I must return to the Black Mountains as soon as I'm able to fly, you hear? Dalamar, that little bitch said, his tufted ears flattening against his head. Zelda's deep blue eyes stared into Dalamar's faltered eyes. What the fuck?
It doesn't make any sense from my end either, man.
Do not worry, my comrade. I will send Link along with you on your journey back to the Black Mountains. I think I should stay here for the night. It wouldn't be wise to travel until sunrise. But one more thing is worrying me now. What is Icarius? Shit. What? Oh, God.
It was Zelda speaking
That was
the whole
Zelda
time.
the entire time. Whoops. I think you should stay here for the night. It wouldn't be wise to travel until sunrise. But thing is worrying me now. This Icarius planning to invade Hyrule? Zelda questioned the griffin with fear in her voice. Fuck. Hey, yo, Hughes. Honestly, my lady, I couldn't tell you. For as much time as I spent, for as much as I could tell you, it seems that the Dark Knights have remained solely to the north. But with as much twisted desire Icarius has, I wouldn't be too surprised if he does plan on spreading his control to the 17 Black Desert.
Yeah, my whole thing here is like, maybe our Ariakas or whatever his name is the good guy here, trying to spare everyone from the death that is Jenna, or the fate worse than death that is knowing Jenna. Anyway, Zelda's fearful look was cast upon me, her blue eyes turning to a dull gray. At that moment, I knew that if this dark lord from the Shadow Realm was indeed planning a dark invasion of Hyrule, I was going to be the sole protector since my role as part of the ancient Silverlight race, because of course you are. I was an elemental user, one that wields great power of the forces of nature, and in that I was the strongest protector Hyrule had. Not barring Link, the actual hero, but whatever. I could tell that within Zelda's eyes, she was counting on me as if such an invasion should happen. But one thing worried me: if such an invasion happened in the near future, would I really be of any use? Since I was still expecting. Probably not. Maybe you should have kind of, I don't know, backed off after the first child for a little bit. I mean, just a thought. Yeah. Where was I? At that point, I was 6 months pregnant and not too sure what the effects of a little welding the great power over the elements would have on Link's unborn child. Yep, welding.
I mean, with your powers, you technically could weld.
Yeah, you could.
Okay.
My turn.
Yes.
Sorry. I'm like
Lots
dead
of-
inside right now because
Lots
of
of
this.
questions danced.
Lots of questions danced through my mind that night as Link and Delamar prepared for their departure upon sunrise. As Rink prepared his paddle bags, I went over to him and gave him a worried look. I'm coming with you no matter what decision you make, I spat, my face twisting into a scowl. I remembered when you tried to deny me to accompany you in the water temple. If I recall, you just might have ended up being a permanent prisoner to Darkwing had I not gone with you. Nick's voice turned into a sudden shade of red as he spoke in a nasty key tune. Listen, Chen, you don't understand. You're carrying an unborn child, and I think that this time would be too dangerous for you to come as pregnant as you are. When you accompanied me to the water temple, you sure as hell wasn't expecting. Nick repelled the pain of the memory when as you found me near dead on the ground, the temple wrenched his heart. He would feel his pain wrenched at all kinds of fears of him losing me or his unborn child. But even in the light of his overgrowing fears, I was not about to let that stop me from accompanying him along his journey.
I don't mean to alarm anyone, but I think Zane is broken.
Mm-hmm.
That voice you put on suddenly made me have horrific flashbacks to every time I've come across Little Princess Daddy roleplay. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Pretty sure Zane knows exactly what I'm talking about. And oh God.
Actually,
Yeah.
I don't.
Oh, you're one of the lucky ones then.
Okay.
Oh,
Llytic,
God,
your
it's
turn.
pedophilic roleplay. It's fucking horrifying. Anyway, Link, my undying love, I understand your fears and concerns, but I think I'm well enough to be able to protect myself, despite the fact that I'm now around 4 months pregnant, at least. It's probably not a good idea for me to go on an adventure. Or did you soon forget that I am a descendant of the great Silverlight race? You see, Link, I am racially superior to you. She's turned into more of a Nazi. Remember, I am an elemental user. I returned nonchalantly. Link returned an cold, icy stare, the blue draining from his eyes and being replaced by a dull, stormy gray. Listen, Jenna, listen. This time I'm making the decision for you. Because sexism. You are 6 months pregnant, and because of that, I cannot allow you to go. I mean, for once he has a point, but still, God damn it, I hate this story.
Yeah.
So put the damn notion of going out of your mind. It doesn't make this moment any less horrifically sexist feeling. Link spat his cold hands gripping my shoulders. With an angry growl, I pushed Link's hands off of me as as my eyes filled up with anger. Oh boy, it's about to get abusive.
Yay.
Damn it. By the goddesses, Link, I am coming with you or I will stab you again.
Jesus, okay.
I will not sit back and let you go on this journey without my aids. I do. God damn it.
Ooh. So it's that kind of story.
I'm trying to make this more enjoyable. And giving them a horrific disease is apparently one of those things that does that.
Yes.
I don't care if you're worried about me. Damn it, Link. I'm worried about you and the knife wounds I'm going to put in you. I retorted stubbornly, my hands clenching into fists, ready to rip his eyes out. Daring to defy me. Then my eyes lowered as my gaze slowly softened. Link, listen, I care about you, but if you do not stop this, I am going to stab you. You're my whole world, and I know I mean the same to you, but I feel that as a mated pair.
Did they really just use that?
Mated pair. There are some things that one of us cannot do alone, like endanger the child. Our love isn't our love based on faith and trust? No, that ceremony clearly proves it wasn't. Aren't we connected together in every aspect of our being? I walked over to Link and into his warm arms, my eyes locking with his. Link, my love, you're going to have to trust me, or I'm going to pull out the knife. That is one part of what our love is about, all about. The knife.
Okay.
Turn.
Link's hard gaze suddenly softened, his gentle arms holding me close. Jenna, my life, I do trust you, and I have always had faith in your abilities. That we only knew about just about, like, what, a year ago now?
Like that.
I'm just concerned for the well-being of you and our unborn child, because that's all that matters. I just cannot stand the thought of losing either of you. I still think it would be wise if you stay here. I quickly placed a finger gently on his lips. I'm still going, and you can't stop me, because I have a knife, I returned softly. Well, I guess once your mind is made up, Link chuckled nervously. I'm not going to be able to change your decision. I nodded in return. Sigh, women for you. Once their minds are made up, there is no changing it. Link said sarcastically, softly pressed his worst lips against mine. Yeah, she did. Accept it, move on.
Fuck you.
Accept it, move on.
With every fiber of my being. Ugh.
Oh boy. The night passed quickly. Rays were as I was saddling my horse and preparations for my departure with Link and Dalamar. Oh wait, no, Link and Dalamar! After we made the final preparations, Link and I mounted our horses and ready to depart. Dalamar emerged from the castle and joined us at the front gate. I checked one last time to make sure my bone quiver and phoenix circles were secured before turning my attention to the Griffin. Dalamar looked at us sternly, his wings flexing against the gentle blowing wind. Are you ready, my friends? Dalamar questioned. As ready as ever, Link returned as he eagerly waited to leave. I just nodded. Well then, let's get moving. We should try to reach the Black Mountains before sundown.
Turning my horse around, I started to follow behind Link when Zelda, that whore, called to us. Please be careful, comrade. May the goddesses protect you on your journey and provide your safe return home. Little did I know that Zelda's fingers were crossed behind her back and she was secretly hoping for our demise. We looked back at Zelda, that whore, one last time before moving out. Fuck, Brooklyn accent. Hey, yo. Alright. Thank you, my lady. I appreciate all that you've done for me. Dalamar said, his gaze soft upon hers. Don't worry about Link and I. We'll be fine. I'm sure we will return home safely. Just please take good care of our son, despite the fact that you're the princess and have things to do. I added as a smile of reassurance crossed my face. Now, my friends, is the time to move on. Time is of the essence. Dalamar retorted, nodding in agreement. I resumed following behind Link, leaving the sanctuary of Hyrule behind.
The sun was high up and the heat treacherous as we made our way across the vast black desert. We had been traveling for about 4 hours and I was already tired from sitting on my saddle. Thick sweat beat in my face as my parched mouth cried for water. I reached into my saddlebags and pulled out my water skin. Raising it to my dried lips, I took a long gulp before replacing the cap and returning it to my saddlebags. Was that plagiarism? Because that was almost a decent description. The heat was so unbearable that it was causing shapes of false objects to form in the desert sand. And even the heat wave that the desert was producing caused the images of Link and Dalamar to look distant and warped. Though we pressed on, pushing our very horses to the limit, their mouths gaped open, their tongues dry from the hot desert air. The minutes that we spent in that damn desert of death seemed like hours when finally a miracle by the goddesses loomed just ahead. After what seemed like an endless push through that treacherous desert, we finally came to the end and emerged near a vast rushing river.
Wish I were dead.
Oh shit. 18. This is the Snake River. Dalamar. This is the Snake River, Dalamar said as a crystal scanned the bank on the other side. The river is too fast and deep to cross on foot. We'll have to build a raft large enough to ferry the horses on. Scanning the area surrounding the river, I noticed a large thicket of trees just up the river. There's a large amount of foliage just a short way up the river. We can use those trees to build a raft. Walking up beside me, Dalamar scanned the way ahead. I see no signs of any danger up that way, so let's get a move on.
Kill me. All right, let's get him.
You ain't
Let's get
that
a move on. Okay. We pressed on up the river and into the thick foliage. Very thick indeed. There we proceeded to make a makeshift raft using vines among the trees to hold it together. After we pushed it down into the bank, down to the bank, we loaded on the horses. Then Link and I went on, followed by Delamar.
Okay.
You kill yourself?
Huh?
Yourself yet?
No.
Getting on you.
Here it is. I lost my place. My computer went dark for a sec there.
Long pole.
Taking a long pole made of wood, Link steered us along against the river's swift current, taking heed to watch for rocks lying wait under the river's whitecaps. Slowly but surely, we made our way across and onto the other side. From there, we mounted and headed for Dragon Mount.
Zane?
The sky was setting off tones of deep pink and lavender. The sun was starting to set as we neared Dragon Mount. I watched in awe as the dragon-shaped mountain appeared in the distance. Just then, Delamar
got its name.
turned and looked back at us. We must make haste. The sun has already set. This is a bad area to be in after nightfall.
Delamar, do you ever
We
say
must
anything
press
else?
on at a faster pace, Delamar said with worry. But Delamar, the horses, I started to say. The horses what? What's the deal with horses? Delamar cut in. They need a rest. Look at them. They're exhausted.
I'll have to agree with my wife, Delamar. The horses haven't had any rest since we left Hyrule.
Added.
Okay. The only problem is Lord Icarius' knights patrol this area at night. If we don't press on past Dragon Mount, we might be found by the 19 Dragon Knights. And trust me, you don't want to get captured by them, let me tell you. They'll make you sing like a fucking canary. They have been known to be ruthless and even as far as to kill in blood for glory. Delamar said shakily.
As opposed to killing in vinegar.
Killing vinegar for glory. His eye glaring over at us.
Hold on a second.
Okay. I fought worse than that. How can these Dark Knights amount up to what Ganondorf was? Link said stoutly as he shifted in his saddle. Listen, hero, you don't understand these Dark Knights like I do. My people have been fighting them for centuries, and trust me, they're more ruthless than you think they are. I think Dom's back.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to disconnect for the night because apparently it's almost midnight and just lots of things.
We need
So sorry about that.
We need to power through this.
No, like literally, they are saying get off now, and they're making it clear that I should get off this. And as much as I'd like to stay on this,
Can we at least try to finish this chapter?
I mean,
We're not even halfway down the page.
Fair enough. Oh God.
Maybe we could continue the recording later or something. I don't know. I'm sorry.
think
I'd like to continue
Turns
this,
out
but
that this is not going to be our last one because this chapter is that goddamn long.
yeah, that's what I saw. So anyway,
I want to die.
I'll do.
yeah,
But yeah,
I think
so I
I'll
guess we'll leave that on the insinuation that this random nobody's army is more powerful than Ganondorf.
yeah.
Makes sense.
They're singing me like the good guys in this. Just saying.
Well, except
Sorry
for the
about all
fact
that.
Leaving dragons.
Yeah. Well. Anyway.
All right. Well, I'm
should we
Llytic.
sign off? I'm Tom.
I'm also Tom.
No, you're not.
We'll see you next time. Bye.